Hey everyone, I'm Monica Clavijo, and welcome back to another episode of the Bear Experiment podcast. Today's episode is not for the faint of heart. My guest, Sandy Whitfield, has lived through experiences most of us could barely even imagine: near death encounters, timeline jumps, and what she calls divine protection guiding her every step. From being carried away by what appeared to be aliens at the age of 7 years old to surviving septic shock with the help of a mysterious nurse named Gabriel, and the hospital has no records of Gabriel. Sandy's life has been a series of impossible escapes and spiritual awakenings, but this conversation doesn't stop there. We're also diving into the controversial, what Sandy calls the Great Inversion: allegations of Hollywood's elites, hidden agendas, and a world flipped upside down to keep humanity distracted and afraid. Some will dismiss it, others may start to connect the dots. Either way, you won't walk away unchanged. So if you're ready to question the stories we've been fed and to hear how one woman's divine protection may hold lessons for all of us, stay with us. This is going to be one powerful hour. As always, I'd like to take a moment to thank you all for all of your continued support by subscribing to our YouTube channel and hitting that notification bell so that you never miss an amazing episode with all of our amazing guests sharing their stories of awakening and redemption. Now let's dive in. Recording. Okay, I'm recording. Oh my God, is this really happening, Sandy?
I
Finally?
can't believe it. How many times have we tried to do this?
Well, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it this time.
Yay,
I'm
so
feeling
ready.
it. I'm feeling it.
So ready.
I got a good vibe about today and us talking a little bit. So, thanks again for taking the time to speak with me. Again, we've tried to touch upon this subject several times, which is a little controversial, with the some of the allegations, alleged allegations, out there with Hollywood's elite and the great inversion that's taking place. And
Right.
we're going to dive into that part. But I'd like to start off, Sandy, with you and sharing your story of how Sandy is Sandy Whitfield, right? How did you get to this point? And I'd love to start with uh, what happened to you when you were 7 years old, right? Your experience where you say that you were carried off by aliens and somewhat lost track of time.
Good.
And you experienced this by looking out your window. So why don't we start there? You're this
Okay.
7-year-old little girl and you're looking out your window. What do you see?
Story home. And when you're seven, I don't even know how to describe this, but I saw myself being carried on a stretcher by what people would call aliens. Now, do I believe in them? I don't know. All I do know is I was never afraid. I had no fear. And when they carried me onto something, the object was so bright and so beautiful that it's indescribable. There's no
Okay.
way I could tell you. There's no way. But I had absolutely no fear. And then from that moment on, I never told anybody but my brother
Right.
until now. But
And
everything,
why do you think that was? That other than maybe you were embarrassed, but you were still young when you're a child at 7 years old. I feel like you would maybe share something like that. Was it a fear-based reason why you weren't doing it? What was the
I
reason why
don't
you weren't sharing it with your parents?
I don't think it was by judgment by any means. I just felt like it was so unreal that I couldn't tell anybody because they wouldn't believe me. A 7-year old saying things like this is pretty out of the norm,
Yeah.
you know. But after that, and this is what leads up to this, my entire life I have been divinely protected
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I had a red sports car coming up behind me at accelerated speed and literally grabbed my steering wheel and held on because I knew it was going to hit me. And when I opened my eyes, the car was in front of me driving full. So that was one of them,
So these are what when we were speaking earlier,
right?
your timeline jumps that you've experienced on multiple occasions
So
where
many.
Yeah, where
I
you
should go, but I didn't.
it's too many times to call it
Mhm.
coincidental at this point, correct?
I had a fire truck head on coming at me over a hill in the same area where I had the first incident. And it was coming straight at me. And again, you get terrified and you just freeze. And I don't know how I got into the emergency lane. My car was sitting in the emergency lane.
Now, do you think that these close on near-death experiences that you almost made that
Yeah,
transition
yeah.
toward that maybe this divine protection started with this abduction that happened to you at 7 years old or prior to that already?
I just, no, I don't remember much prior to that about, death experiences or anything like that. I never really put the two together until my brother did. He's the one that said to me, I wonder if this is real and this really happened and you have been, but to me, my only protection is God. I mean, that's the bottom line. And whether it's a fine line, it really is a fine line between believing in aliens and God to me. So I don't know if there's a connection.
Right. Are they all, or are they all the same people? Are they all the same person at that point, right? Aren't we
Right.
all divinely connected and one, right? Through Christ consciousness, isn't that what they say as well?
Yeah.
From a spiritual position. So let's talk about your near-death experiences. I want to start with the one that really called to me, which was
Hospital.
the hospital with Nurse Gabriel. I thought that was so like I got goosebumps when I read that story. Can you share that story with us and how
Yeah.
you almost
Um,
passed and
yes.
an angel saved you?
I'll never not believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I had Crohn's disease so severe that I got down to 85 pounds. Um, every organ was failing, and they actually told my family I was not going to make it. Uh, I'd been in there about 31 days, and my mind was going in and out because they just kept saying I wasn't there. But a guy comes in, and he was a nurse. He had the whole thing on. He came in the room, and when I first saw him, I was like, wow, that's a pretty man. He was gorgeous, brown locks and blue eyes. I just couldn't believe he was human. So he sat down beside my bed and held my hand, and he just kept telling me everything's going to be all right. Don't lose your faith now. And I couldn't believe it because the next morning after that occurred, the doctors came in and they were running all the tests that they always did on me, and all the tests were coming back normal. I mean, not halfway good or a little good,
Normal.
normal.
How
Like
old are you? How old are
perfect.
you? How old are you when this takes place?
Let me think. I'm 62 now, so I'm gonna say 57 or 58.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So it
not
was
too long
later. So it
ago.
was later in your life. Okay.
Yes, yes. So anyway, the nurses started coming in. They were all like amazed. They kept saying, "How is this happening?" And I said to them, I don't know, but there was a man that came in last night that sat with me for about 30 minutes. And I said, he put me at such ease. Can you find him? And of course, they were like, yeah, of course. And all of that. About 40 minutes later, they come back, a couple of them come back, and they said, we have not only searched the hospital staff, but kitchen help, all of them. There was no Gabriel, no Gabe, no Gabrielle, nothing even close to that on the list. And I said, if these people weren't believers, they are now.
Yeah. But you
Because
you felt it though, right? You felt it from the moment that Gabriel sat next to you.
absolutely. When the hairs stand up on your body,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was beautiful, and his words were they thinking of it now, it didn't seem human almost. It was so guided and so soft. And I was such in a panic state. They're telling my family I'm not going to make it. So that to me, that was the most beautiful thing I have ever encountered in my life. And Gabriel's my guardian angel.
So that's where I was going. Do you feel like Gabriel is your guardian angel and do
100%
you still communicate with him till today?
do. I do. Actually, I had something occur a couple of weeks ago, and whether he is my guardian or not, I was claiming it. And somebody did a video and said, look at the time, write down the time. So I did. And they
And
said,
look it up in the Bible,
I
the
did.
verse. Yeah, I've seen
And
those.
it was Gabriel. And I mean,
No way.
it was beautiful. I love to do things like that.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah,
That's so interesting. So it came out to Gabriel when you looked in the
it did.
Bible.
It did.
Have you ever physically been able to see him again, or is this
No,
just in your mind?
no, I will never forget the picture of him.
Yeah, of
I
course.
should draw that, but I, it's something that will stay with me forever. And I, I don't even know how to describe this, but so many people right now are into the Bible, into religion, into all of these different things that they're going the opposite way of where we should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't,
Yeah.
this is my opinion, for entertainment purposes only, but I don't believe Jesus was here to condemn and all of the things. I think he was here to wake us up, to say, you don't have to go to church. Be a decent person
Be a
and do
good
what's
human
right and
being. Right.
right. And I think things have been twisted in the Bible. Well, gosh, we know over 200 times. I'm not an expert and never will I claim to be.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of research on it. When I was a kid, I kept thinking, why does this verse say this? The next chapter, it doesn't make sense because it's something totally different.
Yeah, because at that point
Totally
it's being rewritten over and over and over by mankind. So
like King
essentially,
James, remember?
hmm
And who's King James? What
right.
have you
And at that and at that point, right, it's like whatever's going to be in his
read?
favor. Sure.
Right. Like the book of Satanism. So, and a lot of people don't realize that. I'm not new age by any means because I think there's a fine line between, I don't use gurus and psychics and all of those things. I go within because I get my answers every time.
So talk to me a little bit about that. King James, and he being part of rewriting the Bible and kind of his beliefs and
So
what
he
he
wrote
stood for.
the Bible, it was a satanic Bible that, and then he wrote King James or did King James Bible. And to me, that's the first deception of all time because everybody, go to King James, do listen to what they say in that Bible. But I think you have to go way, way back. And I have followed some scholars who have gone back far enough. It's nothing like they put in the Bible today. Nothing. So everything has changed.
It's a double standard. It's what's taking
Right.
place. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your wake up call, you feel then where you talk about your great awakening after experiencing, all of these near death experiences, from a very young age was in 2016, where you started questioning
Everything.
everything.
Well, that was the excuse me. That was the time I had come out of the hospital, not that particular time when I almost died, but another time because I had Crohn's disease so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I got home and I had been in there for probably 2 weeks and was going up a flight of stairs and I had edamame in my hand and was just going upstairs. It was 18 stairs straight up to my
Mm-hmm.
bedroom. My legs went dead. I all I remember is flipping. I went backwards down 18 stairs, landed face first on a hardwood floor. My kids thought I was dead. I mean, when they came, and all I did was look my head up and I went, don't touch me. I didn't know what had just happened. And my kids were going, Mom, how are you even talking to us? Because the hit was so severe. And I I told them, I said, I didn't fall. I floated. I literally floated down the stairs. I didn't have a scratch or a bruise. I wasn't sore. And these things just keep happening over and over and over
So
again.
do you think that because of that you're being attacked by negative entities and your divine protection by your spirit guides and
Maybe,
angels are the ones guarding you?
maybe. I mean, that sounds about right because once you're, to me, my opinion, when I'm fully connected to God, I always have these horrible things come at me, like
Yeah.
my apartment, but something better came out of it. I got to move someplace better. At the time, didn't know. You understand what I'm saying?
No, 100%. And this is right where we're supposed to be living in the present moment from a position of gratitude, understanding that everything is working out for us in its highest good. And when we understand that and really practice that on a daily basis, we
Right.
will understand that everything is always happening for our highest purpose and our best purpose. The universe is divinely always taking care of us.
Yes, ma'am.
We just
Every
try to we
morning,
just try to control everything, and that's when everything starts slapping us in the face.
everything. You have
Hmm.
to go, you just have to let go. Somebody described it as a fish trying to swim upstream.
Yeah.
Let go and you will be guided. Every morning before my feet hit the floor, I am talking to God. And I'm not religious, as I said. And
Yes, I completely
I'm not a
understand you because I'm the
Christian.
same way.
Right. And I don't have anything against anybody, do you? But every morning, so sorry.
No, it's okay.
When I wake up, I always give thanks. And throughout the day, even something as simple as when I moved into a new apartment, I thanked God for the garbage disposal that worked. You
Yes.
know what
Oh
I'm
my
saying?
God. All day long.
All things. Oh, the other day, I was doing my affirmations and walking outside, and I literally said, money comes to me easy. Money comes to me fast. Money comes to me all day. Money comes to last. And I just little things like that in my head. I looked down and there was a quarter on the ground. So most people wouldn't have put that together. But I
Yeah.
picked the quarter up and I gave thanks. The next morning, a friend of mine had sent me $500. And it was, but that's how this just plays out.
You're
You have to
because
let
you're
go.
and you are paying attention.
You have to pay
That's
attention.
right. You're paying attention to the storyline that's taking place
Yeah,
minute by minute, second by second, right? We get so lost in the rat race that
we
is
do.
society and the world that we lose ourselves and we lose all of these spiritual abilities that
Right.
innately we're all born with, and we all have these marvelous powers.
Yep.
And and yeah, and we're gonna get into that because that's part of the whole governmental
Yeah.
inversion, right?
Oh gosh.
Where they're just trying to keep us so focused on everything other than
Other than
spirituality, right?
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they're doing. I do want to ask you about your, with your spiritual awakening and abilities, you talk about having a moment where you remembered a past life experience
Oh
where you
gosh, yes.
died
Yes.
and hurt your head, and until today in this timeline you still have the
I have
mark.
a big dent in the top of my head. When
Yeah.
I put the two together, I had several dreams of me being in a red dress and being chased around a car, and
Mm-hmm.
that I was terrified. Never thought anything about it. And one day I was talking to a friend and was telling that story because we were talking about past lives and things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I said it, I went to the top of my head and there's a big dent. I guess I never noticed that. I mean, I don't, but there's a big dent in the top of my head. And I mean, it makes sense to me.
Uh,
If that did happen, there it is.
I've heard those stories with in documentaries, right? Where
Mhm.
you see these young children that they're 3 years
Oh my
old and they
gosh,
start talking about
the
all of these
Titanic.
details,
Yes.
right? The Titanic going down
Yep.
and I was on that ship.
Yep.
but they're saying it with so much detail. They haven't seen the movie. They haven't read a book about it. Where are they getting all this detailed information from? There has to be
I,
some validity to everything, right?
absolutely. I think the kids that are being born at this time are the ones that are going to carry us.
Yeah,
They
well,
have more knowledge and depth in their little bodies than we could ever know.
they're coming in more awakened.
Yes,
Right?
100%. Yeah.
More awakened than we were able to. Again, it's the world that's also changing, right?
Yeah.
Entering the age of Aquarius now.
Yeah.
Spirituality is not frowned upon
We
to
get a
speak
bad
about
rap,
it.
but we
Yeah,
do because people think we're
loonies, Looney Tunes.
right. But I think there's always a middle line to things. It, like, I'm not full blown guru and all the things, but that might work for somebody else.
Right.
I'm more middle line. I listen to the Bible. I interpret the Bible probably a bit differently than a lot of people. But that's what led me to spirituality.
Well, my perspective on that is that everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation here where we're at
Anywhere.
today as human beings, right?
Yeah.
We need to, if we're going to practice spirituality, right? Don't be that person that's so detached from humanity at that point that you're
No.
unrelatable, and nobody can talk to you because
And there's a lot.
you're
Yeah.
right. You're
Yeah.
out there at this point. You're too detached from the real world that we're still living in this meat suit in, right?
Right.
And vice versa. The ones that are atheists, I don't believe in anything, and we came from a rock, whatever. That's that's too much. Also, there has to be
Right.
something to be said about
Both sides.
and this connection that we feel with each other, human beings, when we fall in love, how we love animals and animals connect with us.
Gosh, yes.
Plants, my
Mhm.
God, get a plant and water it and talk to it every day, and the plant is
I
going to
don't
grow to
even
be
want to tell
beautiful.
you.
Get another one
I
and
have
curse it
a
out.
tree. I have a tree outside my window. I named her Lala. And I go out there and ground and hold my tree. And I'm to the point where I don't care what people think anymore.
Yeah,
I know it brings
listen,
me
it,
comfort and I think it does raise my vibration.
absolutely. Listen,
Yeah.
the older that I get, the less I care what people think about me because the more I understand that I don't know anything.
I don't know
Right?
anything, but I know everything at all.
Right, right. But it's funny because I lived in a house back in Miami. I remember, and they planted those hedges, so that you can have a little bit
Yeah.
of privacy. And they were so little, and I couldn't stand the neighbors that were there. And the owner was like, "You need to talk to the plants when you water them in the morning."
Yes.
And
Yes.
I would sing to them.
But you,
They started to grow.
do you talk to your water yet?
I don't do that because I
I,
forget. It's not because I'm opposed to it, because
yeah.
I had a girl on the podcast last week, and her name was Amber, amazing girl. She talks to orcas. She goes out to the ocean, starts
I
singing. She's
believe
in
it.
Oregon, and she starts singing, and the orcas come to her. And I
Oh
was just like, that is so
gosh,
cool,
that's amazing.
But she talks about her spiritual connection that she's always had to water from a very
Yeah.
young age. And that's the powerful connection that she has to whales.
Yeah.
And then if you understand whales or have seen any documentaries on whales, they're some of the smartest
Amazing.
mammals out there, right? And the way that they connect telepathically with each other and their
Right?
pods, and how they're pods for life and mate for life. And it's
That's so great.
yeah,
So great.
it really is. It really is. So, whoever doesn't believe in a higher purpose and spirituality, they're missing out on the
It's,
beauty on the beauty that life can really be. Because if you stay in the atheist part of
um,
life,
yeah.
like, it's so depressing here.
Mhm.
It's so depressing.
Well, you know, and again, people, I've been around people with such negative attitudes. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what you say or do, they're going to find the negative
Always.
in
Yeah,
it. And I have
always.
to, it takes my energy away. It's very draining. So I've
Mm-hmm.
learned to try and disconnect from that without being a know it all, because I don't know it all. But things I do know, I want to share with people. I want to help them to go, look, this isn't it. We don't die. We're energy. We come back.
We're
We do our travel on.
in one form or another, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, Sandy, it's so cool because my father who passed away in 2019, was it?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
2019, October 18, 2019. I have him here with me in Orlando where I live, right? And I
Yeah.
have him in the living room, kind of like the Romans did back in the day.
Yes, I have visitors. Go ahead.
But it's, the other day I was having a moment and
The dog is digging. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. It's okay. I was having a moment and I asked, I was like, Dad, who are you with more? Me, my mother, or my brother? And it was so like that whole night I just felt his presence. Like it was like I'm with you. You're the one that needs me most right now, you know? But I knew that he was
But it
with
was
me.
him.
Like I
Yeah,
knew it. But I needed
yeah,
to ask that question. I was like, Are
yeah.
you here? Or are you around me?" And it's what you're saying. We
Right.
don't die. We just change, convert to a different
And
form of
yeah,
energy. That's
I think it's going to be beautiful, and I personally can't wait.
it.
You have another story for you though about energy and that situation.
Shoot, let's go.
A couple of Christmases ago, I was by myself in my apartment and I put a Christmas tree up. I don't put it up because I believe it's Jesus's birthday. I don't celebrate it in that way in any manner because I know it's a pagan holiday. So I put the tree up in honor of family, love, being beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
A hundred
Just the
percent.
whole gamut thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had I've lost my whole family for my two girls, and I have a sister and a stepbrother that we don't really talk much. But anyway, I had the whole family under the Christmas tree in pictures. And I was sitting in my living room, and I have a little tiny little baby, and he was sitting beside me. And I go into the bathroom and I came back and I sat there for a minute and I had blinds to the floor, like a sliding glass door blinds.
Mm-hmm.
And they were closed. And when I sat down, I thought, wow, I walked hard past those because they were like swaying. And your mind thinks you just walked really fast. So I sat down and I actually have a video of it. I'll have to send it to you. I sat down and I watched it for a minute. And then I was like, what is this? What in the world is happening? It started going stronger and stronger. And then all of a sudden, and I didn't see this till I reviewed the video, there was an orb that was going in and out of the blind. Actually, somebody else called that to my attention because at the time you don't notice it. But anyway, this went on, I think, for a good 7 minutes. I sat and videoed. I walked around, showed the air wasn't on. There was no way the door was.
Yeah, yeah. That
It
nothing
was
that nothing was
mind
moving.
blowing. Yes, it was. It was so beautiful, and I had such peace that night because
That's what I was going to ask you. What
all
was the
that
energy?
was there.
What was the energy that you felt within
Oh,
yourself
it
when
was
you were
beautiful.
experiencing?
It was coming to peace because at Christmas time we all get sad. We
Yeah.
just do. We can't help it.
The holidays are tough.
They
They
are
really are,
tough.
right? There's so much pressure on holidays. We need to stop that.
Yeah, they really are. But I didn't want. I'm not a down person, and I don't let things get under my skin.
Yeah.
I just went through cancer. Not I don't know how to say this, good or bad, but I went in and I had skin cancer, which is this is kind of irrelevant, but I do have a point. But they told me, we're going to have to do treatments. We may have to cut it out. We may all these things. But I went back the other day and he said, it looks like I don't know how you've healed like this. I don't know.
Amen, sister. That is
And
awesome. That is
so
such
I
great
got a
news.
little tip back, but he was so sure. And he said, you healed beyond perfectly and so fast. And I was like, I can't believe it. I mean, it's not bad. It's just a little spot right there.
But you know what it is too, Sandy,
What?
that when you're a happy person, you're spiritually open, you're grateful for your life and for everything that you have, whether it be a lot or a little. And when you operate again from that perspective, where you're happy and
Yep.
grateful, at that point, your
Yeah.
energy is flowing all over your body. When you have that stagnant energy where it's
Oh my
anger
gosh.
and hate, and you're just operating from those lower vibrations, that's how you get all these diseases in your body, because it's that
Absolutely.
stagnant energy that you have inside of you.
Absolutely. 100%. I even my doctor said to me, he was funny. He said, after we finished up this last time, and I said, well, I won't see you again. And he looked at me and he said, you're probably right, but we're I just want to check you one last time. And I said, that's fine, I'll come see you, but we're done. And he said, you have the most positive attitude
You have
and
to.
everything. Well, I don't like to be around people that aren't so much
It brings
positive.
you down. I have personally
Um,
had to cut out so many people from my
I have
life
to, I
as a
have to.
result of that. Nothing personal against them. It really isn't. It's about me. It's
No,
about me. I wasn't doing well. I wasn't feeling right. And I think that a lot of it was that
energy.
I continued to learn a lesson and walk right into the same problem. Learn the
Right.
lesson, walk right in. And it's like, how many times am I going to keep making the same mistakes?
Until you
Right?
do it 3 times,
and
until you get it wrong.
and sometimes one of the hardest things to do is to be able to walk away and just say like, hey, our
It's hard.
engagement here has served its
It's
purpose, our
fun.
friendship, whatever it may be, our relationship, we can move no further. I love you, I wish you the best, but like, we're not spending Thanksgiving together anymore. Like, it ain't happening.
No, I hear you on that. It's very difficult. And I've lost a few people. And I think they either, if you're not awake by now, I just don't think
Well, it's not going to
that's,
happen
and
for
that's
everyone,
okay.
right?
It,
But these types of conversations that you and I are having, where we're open
I
to
love to talk about it.
the criticism that comes behind doing this, because God knows I'm getting a lot of criticism for it too, and people call me crazy all the time, and I'm like,
Who
yeah,
cares?
I'd rather be crazy than bitter.
Yeah,
Call me what you want.
exactly. Exactly.
And people like us that are actually open enough for the criticism to talk about this information, I think makes it a little more like curious, right? People get a little
Yeah.
more curious and say, oh, what are they talking about? Everybody knows you're gonna die. That's like
I
the
would be
one
like,
thing that we
yeah,
know. Yeah, everybody knows that we're gonna die. So it's like, you have to be interested in this information. What happens once we do die?
we're
So
not. We're not.
what time are you cutting out today, so that I know how much time I have with you?
What time is it?
Right now
Uh,
it's 1:25.
about two.
Oh, we got time. Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay, no, because I don't want to hold you up. I know that you were a little
Oh,
pressed
you're fine. You're fine.
for time. Okay, so let's see. You want to get into into the funkier stuff,
Hollywood.
the great their great inversion allegations that we got into. So just so that everybody knows, we actually had an entire episode conversation. It was a couple of months ago, right? A couple of weeks ago. We
Yeah.
she was having every internet connection problem that you can possibly imagine. I was like, get your phone, get off of Wi-Fi. I turned into the IT master here, right? I was like Elon Musk. And I finally said, okay, let's figure it out. I'll do it from my phone. I'll try to record that way. I got no audio. And I do this all the time. And none of the audio. And we were talking a lot about what we're going to talk about right now, which is the great inversion that's happening in Hollywood, where a lot of these celebrities um
Are inverted.
are inverted and selling their souls to demons and a lower vibrational entity, uh in order to gain all of this money, all of this fame.
Yes.
I have heard this for years, right? Like, we
Yeah.
hear this all the time. They're selling their soul to the devil, right?
Mhm.
Because a lot of these people don't have a lot of talent, right? And you're just like, how'd you get there? What are you
Because
doing
they
that I'm not
focus.
doing? Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's start with the elites, right? Because
Yes.
it's celebrities, the
It's
elites,
all
right?
of them.
All of
All of them.
them. So
All of
what happens then at that point? So
them.
I want to be famous, and at that point, what, I sell my child?
Well, they do. This is all for entertainment purposes
Entertainment purposes, and
only.
everything is allegedly,
I
okay?
know nothing
Don't
of what
take
they're
life too
talking about. It's
serious.
all lies.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've learned through this, and I still have a lot of work to do, is it's done in utero. The child is switched in utero. They are given the opposite hormone or blocker for the rest of their lives. That's why, especially now, people that are aging, let's say Rod Stewart, for example, have you seen him? No hate, because I love Rod Stewart, but you can see the real version of them coming out.
Right.
They
Eventually their body starts replicating what they actually are.
exactly.
Yeah.
And once you open your eyes to it and start,
You
like the
can't.
housewives blew my mind. Victoria's Secret blew my mind. That's why we can't look like them. It's unachievable. We can't do it because we don't have that body structure. Don't have the male bones. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, right. And then, so when you brought all of this up to my attention last time, I started kind of reading a little bit about it because I found it to be a fascinating topic. And
Right.
there really is so much information out there about it with our skeletal system, right? How
Unbelievable.
men are different from
Clavicle
women.
bone,
The clavicle, the
head,
structure, men are more broad shoulders,
straight
women.
across, and thick.
Yeah.
Square
And
face.
okay, so then what are the differences? What are the obvious differences that we can
You can just
actually,
look at. Okay.
yeah.
To me, when I look at, I'll find a celebrity and look at their face. First of all, they're inverted. I don't care who you're looking at, they're still inverted. But a man or man, woman, let's see, female to male or male to female are the girls that have the square jaws.
The very defined chiseled jaw, right?
Yes, and square, square.
Mm-hmm.
Women have more of an upside down light bulb. Like we have the chin and
The more of the heart shaped.
correct.
Yeah,
Shoulders, are they
very broad.
straight across like that? Or are they slipped, like slumped down a little bit, like ours?
Mm-hmm.
That's a woman. Men are coat hanger. Does that make sense?
100%.
Throwing some crap out there. The walk.
The gait, right? Like I was
Gait.
reading a lot about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
A male is walking sticks like a toy soldier, and a female is 1 foot
In
in front
front of
of
the
the
other, like a
other.
model, almost like a
Yeah.
runway model, right?
And the models now have learned that we all know what's going on. So they really have to exaggerate that walk.
Is that why the walk became so obvious with supermodels, where they're
Yes,
walking one foot out in
yes.
front of the other?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's super interesting.
When I
Super
found
interesting.
out the secret from Victoria's Secret was they're all males.
So that's the big secret, huh?
That's a big ass secret. Yeah.
Shit. If I have to switch sexes and I look like one of those models, I'm in. I'm signing up because they look great.
That's what's sad because we have all these young girls who are out there trying.
Trying to
They
look that way and
can't.
they can't. Yeah,
Can't.
they
Can't look
cannot.
like them. And they also have the straight hips. Now, a lot of pictures are photoshopped of the women.
Yeah.
You give them that hourglass. They don't have that. It's straight. If you catch them off guard and they don't know they're being photographed, you can see just the straight. There's no curvature at all. And men's backs, totally straight. A woman has the curve because we carry babies. So we have the indentation, in the back, the slope.
Mm-hmm.
Men do
Mm-hmm.
not have that.
Right.
Our hands, most women have the two shorter fingers.
That's
And if it's a perfect, and if it's a male, this one is going to be as long as this one, or vice versa. When they're
wow.
all up there together, that's another dead giveaway. There's so many things that once you start studying it and like go deep into it, I see them everywhere. It's not just the elite.
So then how are
Everywhere.
all of these inverted celebrities that are on all these hormones and blockers
Like
able to have
getting
children?
pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like I said, I am not that in depth. I can't go that deep with that because I'm really still unsure.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is they can carry a child, but they can't deliver a child because they don't have now, is my understanding. I could be totally wrong. Somebody will probably correct me, and that's fine. But they can carry a child, but most of them have surrogates.
Right. That's what I would think.
They
Yeah.
just do, and they use the baby bumps. They use the fake moon
And
bumps
now,
everywhere.
and now you're seeing that, like now celebrities are openly admitting that they're using surrogates because I'm older
Yeah,
or I don't want to ruin my body,
right.
right?
Always an excuse. Yeah,
And yeah, right, exactly. And you're just like, okay, I could understand that, right? Like their money maker is their body and they have to look a certain
sure.
way and having children is really rough on the body. So
Right.
if you look at it from a normal perspective, you say, yeah, it makes sense. But then when you start questioning everything, you're
I
like,
know.
is it because you can't?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they can't. And again, I'm not sure, but I do think they can carry them. I'm not sure on that, so I got a little more
Yeah.
homework to do.
Well,
We're employed
I
open.
remember seeing a lot of different videos and reels with Queen Bee, if you know who I'm
Uh,
talking about, where her belly
Baby
bump
Flint.
was moving, or even Meghan Markle when
Yes,
she's jamming in the delivery room with the big
looks like
belly, and it
stuffed
looks so
shirts.
fake. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
Beyonce's belly folded.
hey,
Like,
listen, I've been pregnant, so I know exactly what a pregnant belly looks like. When I
can't
look at
do
one, and when you see those, you're just like, yeah, that's a little off. There's something
no
off going on
way.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost so in our faces now that if you aren't seeing this, go find a conspiracy theorist friend that you've made fun of, and we're all waiting to help.
Yeah.
Because the more awake we are, the more aware we are. And
Yeah.
if we're aware, we can raise the vibration of this planet and separate, separate the worlds, evil from good. And I truly believe that.
So,
It's really,
yeah, with divine protection right now, I want to bring that up before we start talking about it. Who is the demonic force that is the face for all of these celebrities?
I can't answer that. What do you mean?
The
Like
name,
who's pulling the strings
the
or
name that who's the demon? Who's the demon behind? Who's their master? Who's the person that
Satan?
they're
Of course. Is that what you're asking?
say
Satan?
that again?
Satan?
Is it Satan? You had mentioned that his name was Baal last time.
Oh, Baal, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that creature is inverted. That's why all the movies start. It's why not movie stars, all of them. If they're on TV or they're doing something and they're high up or have millions of followers, they're inverted. I can't tell you the creators that are on here now deceiving people that are inverted. I'll tell you off. But anyway, their God is half male, half female. So they follow in its footsteps. And it's an abomination, but I always say that's their religion or religion.
Now, is there any association with all of this alleged information that you are talking about and the Illuminati?
Yeah, the Illuminati is, I mean, they walk around throwing the signs up
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
isn't that the demon ball, right? That you see them already like in concerts and Super Bowls. Like it's what you're saying. They're not even trying to hide it at this point.
They're not.
They're
They're
not
not ever
even
going to
they're
again
throwing up the symbols all the time.
in our faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, I saw the one of Lady Gaga and some other celebrity and walked up to each other and did like this to each other. And I knew, I'm like, could y'all be any more obvious? I mean, evidently they want us to know. How can they not? It's everywhere.
it's just it's
Wake
so hard.
up.
It's so hard to believe sometimes, right? Because it's like
So hard. I
it
just
really
want to pick people up and go, can't you see it? And people are like, I don't want to deal with conspiracy theories. Screw conspiracy theories. They're all true.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't, I can't, they're all true. They've all come out. We won't even get into some other stuff right now, but we will later about Razzle Drip. Do you know anything about that?
I do not. I do
Okay.
not. What is that?
Allegedly, there was a video of HC,
Uh-huh.
who was running for P.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And Arma Aduda, Buddha, whatever her name is, that lady that is in Congress. I can't remember her name. I think she was married to the guy that got the computer taken away because of all the,
Pornography.
yeah, what was his name?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that he was sending dick pics to
Yeah,
people.
and he's in jail.
Yeah, I know who
His
you're talking
wife,
about.
Aduma, or you know what I'm saying.
She just married, yeah, a billionaire's son, Soros.
Correct.
I know
Okay.
who you're talking about. Uma? Is it? It's not Uma.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Allegedly, there was a video of a certain ritual in the
Mm-hmm.
woods, and it's all there, and they called it frazzle drip. I don't I don't know if I where the child's face was removed and worn by other participants at the ritual.
Oh my God.
So after that, I mean, the video's out there. You can find it on the dark web. It's horrifying and it's real.
And they get what, like a baby that they sacrifice for
Oh
this?
no, they sacrifice anybody. This
Anything.
was like a 13-year-old child.
Well, again, it's like what we're always they're always telling us that the movies are always telling us exactly what's
Right.
happening. We're just not paying attention.
They
And
have
what are
to.
all these movies doing when they're doing all these satanic rituals and right they're giving their baby right what's that movie with Rosemary's Baby?
Yeah.
Right. And like Hollywood is telling us everything that's happened. Did you see now the latest that is coming out with the movie Snake Eyes and Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage and Charlie Kirk? And it's the exact same name, it's the exact same murder. The person that murdered him's name is whatever the
Almost ridiculous.
I'm just like, no, no way. Like
How
who
can
thought
people not see that and go, oh my God, what's happening?
yeah.
Anyway, let me get back to that real quick
Yeah, go
on
ahead.
thing that maybe occurred. I don't know. There was 12 police officers that watched it. 10 of them have since committed death.
Suicide. Unalive themselves.
Yeah. So when you see, and you can go look these videos up, do you remember Castaway, the movie with Tom Hanks
Yes,
with a
yes.
soccer ball?
Mm-hmm.
You remember what he put on that soccer ball? The face? He drew a
Yeah.
face on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Wilson on
That's
Wilson.
mockery of what I just told you. So then it went, yeah. So it's everywhere now. Like Ellen had one of her guests come out dressed as the soccer ball with the full on face. But that's how it's in our face.
Oh
It's
my
all over. I
God, that's
want you to do
insane. Now,
research
now
on
that
that.
now that you say it,
It's
yeah, I see
unbelievable.
it.
Yeah.
And by the way, the actor that you just mentioned, he has come out on so many of these clips where he is so involved in that darker side of Hollywood,
Very much.
and it's what you're saying, like these huge celebrities, like the ones on the real the big ones, right? The
Yeah.
superstars that are up there, and
Yeah.
they're all associated with all of this dark information that we're reading about and talking about right now that
Yeah.
allegedly is like is it true? Is this all made up? But
Yeah.
right?
No, it's everywhere. And it's all of them. There's no exception to that rule. It's all of them. That's how it's been going on forever.
Why is it so let's talk a little bit, Sandy, about why you think that the public is kept so unaware or we are so uninterested. Why do you think that they are creating all of these distractions for us on another surface level?
Right.
And people are still not paying attention to what's so in our face, what you're talking about right now. And the internet is blowing up all this information.
Yeah.
You see it on TikTok all the time. Start scrolling,
Oh,
right? Let the algorithm pick it up. You're just going to see one thing after another talking
yeah.
about everything that we're saying. So
There's
how,
a lot of
why are people still choosing not to see this?
a lot of them don't want to. A lot of people want to stay in their safety little bubble.
It is kind of creepy though. It is kind of creepy. I don't blame that part.
Very, very. Sometimes I wish I didn't know half the
Mm-hmm.
time. And I
Yeah.
know very little compared to
Right. You're just on
so
the
many,
surface. Yeah.
very surface. But people that are just now starting to wake up can relate to me because I'm not somebody who's going to tell you this is the way it is.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful with that. But the distractions and the fear, it's called loosh, Loosh. And that is it when they get all the world in fear, everybody's sad, crying, all the things, they actually feed off of that. I can't get in too deep with that, but it's almost like giving them a drug. You have people in mass quantities in fear and crying. But it's called loosh, and it's done every day, all day. But they
And
don't want us to find God and to realize that He's here. He's not out there somewhere. We're not all sinners. We're not horrible people. They don't want us to know that.
yeah.
I mean, what else? Really, that's the bottom line. They don't want us waking up. We're like freaking batteries here for them. We just keep
Horrible.
coming back and working, and they keep getting all the money and all the things, and we sit over here broke. We're all still working for them. Stay asleep and carry on. We'll give you your bread and circuses, and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah. It really is. That's how they're keeping us so distracted. You're right. You're right. So how do we use then critical thinking, right? We're all intelligent beings, right? Again, the internet is so accessible. We
right?
have a dictionary at our fingertips right now with our telephones.
They don't want you. They don't want to know. They don't. I have a few friends that absolutely will slam that door.
As soon as you start
It's
talking about it.
hard to relate anymore because I want it. I want them to know you don't have to stay here in this world. You're going to evolve and grow,
Yeah.
but you have to not be lazy and do some research. Not expect everybody to just feed you information. That's how I've learned by digging, and I learn from other people. I never shut the door on somebody else's opinion. I get frustrated. I do in a conversation.
When you for anyone that is listening, such as myself, as soon as I started talking to you about some of these topics, I started researching a little bit more on my end.
Yeah,
But how do you um what is your advice on raising your vibration and staying centered while exploring these types of dark topics? Because again, this could get you thinking
it
on a
does.
lower vibration, get you very fearful of certain things, and now you're operating more negatively. It could depress you, right? And we're trying to avoid all of
Right.
those emotions, right? We're trying to stay on a higher vibration. So how do you do it, for example?
I observe, but I don't absorb. I see things.
I like
I
that.
know they're going on, but I refuse to carry them. I always pray for people, and a lot of them are just psyops, as we know, like
Hmm.
the whole CK thing, but that's a story. But you don't carry them around with you. You observe them, and you're going to have feelings from it, and that's fine. But then let them go.
Right, right.
Let them go. Walk in light. Walk like you own the world, and that you know everything, whether you do or not.
Yeah.
But if you carry that light within you, everybody you meet is going to have that light.
It's gonna
And if you
experience,
don't,
yeah.
you will know immediately. You
Yeah.
will.
And you do, right? Like you sense that. Sometimes like there's people that you just meet
Yeah.
with work at an event, at a store, right? You go
Yeah.
shopping at Publix and you just meet a person who's just like, "Oh, I don't I'm not feeling this. I'm not
That
feeling this
energy, right?
energy. It's an
Yeah.
energy thing 100%. And I
Yeah.
don't want to be around this person. There's something really dark about them."
Right. And you're
Um,
usually right. I mean, I, it just amazes me. I can walk outside and go past somebody and say hello to them or anything, and they just look at you, and I'm like, is it too hard to say
mhm.
just hello? But you can feel it's almost like a doing two batteries. meet each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what it's like
Like
to me
polar
when I
opposite.
meet somebody with dead energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do energy cleanses at night.
How do you
Put
do
the
that?
little moon back, and I love it.
How do you do that?
Um, well, I say a lot of different things, but a lot of, I mean, this is weird, but if I'm encounter somebody that I felt really negatively about,
Mm-hmm.
I brush 3 times, shake it off. You can literally just cover yourself in light, and these people they'll bounce off of you instead of going into your energy and pulling from you because they will pull from you, and that sucks.
Yeah. No,
It's horrible.
you feel it right away. You
You
really do.
do, yeah,
You feel that it's like that buddy that's always calling you with a problem. Like
yeah.
all they do is call you with a problem, the same shit over and over again. And listen, I've been that person too.
We all have.
Where you have to recognize, own it and say, I'm so glad that I've been able to step
Wrong.
back, right?
Yeah,
And learn from my mistakes and try not to continue to make the same mistake.
right. But you have to. You've got when bad things happen, there's always a lesson to be learned. And when you acknowledge that lesson and know why this happened to you, everything breaks away and then the light comes back.
Yeah.
But if you carry it and for me, and I'm sick and I'm tired, you're gonna be. You're gonna
Right.
be. You're
Right. Whatever,
bringing that
whatever,
thing
whatever
down.
you say out loud, that is what you're going to experience in your reality.
We make our own reality.
We make our
If
own
you
reality.
walk with light, light will come to you. I mean, it's so simple and people make it so difficult.
Yeah. So,
No, God is real. He's real. And you've got to, I don't know how to say this without being ugly. Some of the most religious people are the most horrible people in the world because
corrupt,
their way,
Mhm.
highway, I mean, it's bad.
Well,
And you try and, make them understand just because I don't claim religion and I'm not a Christian doesn't make me a bad person.
but
I work
Sandy, how do people not
with
see that at that point? Like
uh,
examples of these massive church pastors have already
uh,
happened where it's been on every news outlet
yeah,
where they are not helping victims of certain catastrophic events that have taken place and opening up these massive stadiums in order to be able to house these people that are left homeless.
they have
Yet
40 hospitals.
and they have, 7 jets in their
Yeah,
backyard. Come on. What kind of God are you reporting to? Because that's not the God that I report to,
right,
you know?
right. Well, hopefully people are going to start waking up more and more. And some of us that do kind of know what's happening have to keep an open mind and heart for the ones that are still asleep
Hmm.
because pounding them with information is doing nothing but driving them further away.
I agree. I
But if they
agree.
come to us and are willing, they have to be willing to just listen. Like,
Yeah.
let's start with the Titanic and go from there. It's a whole nother hoopla. Federal Reserve, that whole thing. It's
You know what I do want to touch base with you before we have to check out of here. Um Talk to me about the Cabbage Patch Kids. That was something that I really had on my list.
I don't know enough about that. I do. It has to do with the mud flood and repopulation of the world with these kids. I don't know enough about it.
Because I was watching
I
a clip
will.
last night while I was
Yeah,
falling asleep. I was watching some clips on social media, and they were talking about the creator of the Cabbage Patch Kids, how it had some association with a satanic
yeah.
cult, and the little signs and signatures, and
Art.
how it's
Yeah.
X, and they would name all the kids with an X, and that's because of and I was falling asleep. It was very late at night.
I'm going to
So
do some more research on that and we'll get back.
I'd love
Let's
to
do
talk
it.
a little
Let's
bit
do the
about that.
thing. Yeah, let me get on, with some more research.
Yeah.
It's been a
And
minute since I've been into that, and I don't want to say something that it
uh,
is not.
Agreed.
relevant. Yeah.
Agreed. So let's do that then. The next time that we sit back together, we'll talk about some more of these controversial
Love
topics
it. I would love it.
with a little more information,
Yes.
with all of the alleged information that's available out there, just so that we can
Yeah,
have some entertaining topics to talk about on the podcast,
we
right?
will. Absolutely.
With some of the craziness that's taking place on this planet. So let's close off the podcast, Sandy. Any advice for listeners beginning their own awakening? What can you share with them?
Have an open mind and an open heart. If somebody's trying to help you with information, don't
Hmm.
shut them down. If it's not for you, you'll know. Walk
Right.
away.
Right.
Don't keep, just walk away and let everybody go their separate ways. But wake up, be grateful every single day. I don't care what it's for.
Hmm. Agreed.
Grateful. Be happy to be here. It's crazy as it is. Like I said, to me, the worlds are separating. I don't hear all that evil so much anymore. I just don't hear it.
Listen, it's like anything, right? If we're out looking for all the bad all the time, we're gonna only see the bad, right? We got to
Yeah,
start looking at the pretty, the good,
yeah,
and try to focus our
always.
attention on that.
Yeah,
Whatever we focus our attention, that is the reality that we are
what we're
creating in our
bringing
life,
in.
you
Correct.
know?
Beautiful.
All
You're
right,
so
Sandy.
sweet.
I love you. I think you're
Love you
so
too,
beautiful.
girl.
I love your hat. I was gonna wear my cowgirl hat too because,
Oh, wear it next time.
I have to get my hair did too, and so I had to wear a hat. So next time I'll wear it. I'll wear it
All
so that
right.
we can have the same hats together. But
All right.
I hope you have a great weekend, my friends, and I thank you so much for speaking with me. This has been so
Thank
much
you.
fun,
Me
and we're
too.
definitely gonna recap, okay, on some more controversial topics.
Okay.
All right,
Bye,
have a
sweetie.
great one. Okay, honey. Bye bye.
See you.